If you guys know anything about me, which all 5 of you that watch the channel maybe might, I like buying cheap stuff. I never pay full price for anything. My laptop, I got like 78% off, Huawei. My car, I got used. My monitor, on sale. My RAM, on sale. Everything. I'm always hunting for a deal. So when it came time to replace my terrible Galaxy A50, that thing was slowing down to a crawl and I broke the screen. I started looking for what's the best deal on a phone out there. And unfortunately, I live in America, where nothing good is as far as technology. So I found this. Quiet you, I'm filming. So after a ton of research and actually talking with our boy Nightfire on the Discord.
No. Of course not.
Go check out our Discord. I came across the Poco F3, made by Xiaomi. Xiaomi, I think is what they said. Xiaomi. I can't speak Chinese like Steve over at Gamers Nexus. It's actually pretty impressive he can do that. So I found this really awesome deal on a Chinese phone designed for the European market. So you can't buy this phone in America. So I went out of my way and I purchased it through Amazon Spain. I tried Amazon UK and it cost more, probably Brexit, I don't know. So I ordered a phone off of Amazon from Spain. Let me tell you right now, your credit card company is not okay with that. I got a call from them about Prime. They're like, is this you? And I'm like, yeah. And then I order it later and they're like, is this still you? Yeah, I live in Spain. Totally. So I paid about $360 for the phone. It's hard to tell because I'd have to go through my whole email and I don't want you guys doxing me. It's hard to tell because, you know, Euro to USD kind of varies day to day. So what did I get? Basically, I got the Galaxy S20 with some caveats for that kind of money. So this thing is 6.7 inch, you know, Snapdragon 870, 5G, 8 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage. You know the drill. It's a pretty solid phone. And when you compare it to an S20 plus 5G, you know, S20 5G's got a Snapdragon 865 5G and the same size screen. Their screen is higher res, but their processor's a little bit slower. This is 1080p, AMOLED, 120 Hertz. And let me tell you right now, you may not think a 120 Hertz phone is a big deal until you own one. And you're like, whew, I can't go back. I really like this phone, but I also really hate this phone. I'm gonna tell you right now, do not buy this phone unless you're just a little bit crazy or you like tinkering with stuff. Do not buy this phone for your mom, for your little sister, or for anybody that could possibly ask you for tech support. You do not want this on you. This phone is running a version of Android that's skinned. If you've ever used a Samsung phone, it's One UI, used to be TouchWiz. This is MIUI, and it is a notoriously awful skin of Android. I'm not used to common good practice being, do not update the phone unless you check Reddit first. And then they tell you, do not update the phone, because it always breaks something new. And my, you know, idiot self got the phone and went, ooh, updates, and updated it, and now it's a train wreck. It looks nice at first, although this is not the default launcher. I don't know how to turn it back to the default launcher. Honestly, I don't want to deal with that anymore. It's just whatever. Yeah, Poco launcher, here we go. You can do it, buddy. Yeah, look at that. That's the Poco launcher. That's the experience. I use Nova launcher because I have taste. So it's got dark mode like any other Android phone of modern lineage, and you know, it's got a bunch of MIUI little specific tweaks, and I hate them. So let's first start with how it breaks just the UI randomly. Let's open up Spotify. You know, everyone uses Spotify. Ignore the weird crap I listen to. So, if you look right there at the play button, why is it just a white circle? That's MIUI, boys. Alright. Let's go pull up a video from somewhere. Let's go pull up Coil Wine. I love that channel. Check it out. You can get subscribed. Help those guys out. Pull up a Steam Deck video. So, If you've used a Android device, you're used to going and watching a video and you're like, oh, let me go check a text I got, and yeah, minimize it. Where's my picture-in-picture? Is it still playing? So for example, I have a moddable. It's still playing. Let's open recent apps to find it. Where did it go? There's no picture-in-picture. There's no top bar controls. It's not in your recent apps. You have to go through and manually just reopen it and pause it. And sometimes that doesn't work, and then you go and you like unplug your headphones or turn off Bluetooth at work, and it starts blasting whatever terrible garbage music you're listening to, and you're trying to turn it off. It's awful. So the UI is glitchy garbage, but the hardware is still pretty good. Let's talk about performance. Let's open up the only game people benchmark or care about anymore. Let's open up Genshin Impact, you know, the game I totally want to play on my phone. Alright, so this is not the phone's fault. Genshin just takes forever to do anything. So this is a pretty graphically demanding game, and unfortunately the frame rate tool in Android doesn't work right, but I've got MIUI gamer optimizations, and they work sometimes. And it's saying I'm getting 35-ish, 30-ish FPS, which is pretty good. I think that's like a game engine cap. Let me turn it to graphics here. I'll show you the graphics. It's running medium settings. I just turned off motion blur because motion blur is a sin. No, motion blur is for consoles that run at 15 FPS and you want them to feel better. Let's turn FPS. Let's turn it to 60, and then it screams at me about performance load is too high. So it's actually getting pretty solid performance. It runs very well. This is a fast CPU. It's a Snapdragon 870, which is an overclocked 865. Which is an underclocked 865 plus. Qualcomm hurts my head. All I know is that the 888 is newer, and it's a thermonuclear reactor. It throttles a lot. It's also got 5G, one band, one of them. You don't get your millimeter wave, so you know, you don't get that cool 5G where you stand in front of the tower and you cut your bandwidth in half. That was a really funny video with Linus. Okay, so let's rewind here. Back to why this phone doesn't want to be sold in America. No carrier wants to activate this thing because it's missing a couple of bands. First off, voice over LTE does not work by default. So T-Mobile's Metro PCS's system will just flat out say no. And no store can activate it. It goes, no. It's because it doesn't have voice over LTE, which you just punch in a funny dialer code and it turns on just fine. It's easy as hell. But it's missing a couple of frequency bands. You're missing band 71 for you're missing band 71 for 4G, and you're missing band N71 for 5G. Those are the extended range, lower speed, but wider, broader coverage frequencies. So if you're in the major city, you probably won't even notice they're missing. But if you're out in the sticks or you're driving, you know, out to your parents' house in, the middle of nowhere, you're gonna feel it. I have spots where I just flat out lose all signal. And I'm like, well, I hope no one needs to call me. It's just the little X, and good luck me. Guess I'll die. But that's a trade-off I'm willing to make. For everything else, it works on every other T-Mobile frequency. AT&T is a little bit hit or miss. And like I said, you're not touching Verizon. So, what do I think about this phone? I think this phone is awesome. High refresh rate, great screen, really fast processor, good gaming performance, but terrible software, sketchy, frequency support. Good luck finding a carrier for it. There are trade-offs. So I'm going to go ahead and use this phone for another 1 to 2 weeks after flashing a custom ROM on here. Probably Lineage OS because I'm lazy and I don't feel like searching through the XDA forums and hearing what doesn't work. You tell me. I'll just flash the big boy Lineage and we'll go from there. And I'll come back and I'll, finish off this video with a quick little thing about, does this make the phone better? Or is the phone still sketchy? Am I getting new sketchiness with custom ROMs or not? It's a pretty good phone. Also, battery life. Everyone cares about battery life. It's pretty solid. I am terrible with my devices. This thing goes through an entire workday of me totally working hard, I'm just over here on Discord, you know, just replying to everyone's messages on our Discord. I'm on Discord, I'm listening to music, I navigate with my GPS. I use the phone almost on full brightness all the time because my eyes don't work no good no more. And I don't have Wi-Fi at work, so it's just running at 5G max speed, and I still have like 30% battery when I get home after work. This thing will probably last you a good 2 days of normal person usage with Wi-Fi and a normal screen brightness. So we'll see if running a lighter OS that probably isn't spying on you as much will make a difference. What a nice phone, except for when it's awful. I love you, you stupid Poco. So it's been a while since I last talked about this phone, and I was running the stock MIUI software at the time, which, you know, is what Xiaomi, I don't know how to pronounce that, put on the phone. Since then, I've gone and I've flashed a custom OS. I'm running Aero OS, which is I'm running Android 11. There's a version of Android 12 Aero available, but I'm already doing something kind of like sketchy in its own way. I don't want to. So Gab says it's like breaking the law, only do one at a time. But the counter argument is you're already gonna get arrested. Might as well do it right.
Break as many laws.
It's like being late to class. It's like you're already late. Why are you rushing? Like, stay in school. Don't commit crimes. So anyways, I flashed an AOSP, which is Android Open Source Project ROM. Basically none of the stuff that any of the vendors put on the phone. Pure stock as best as you can. And yeah, I've used it as my daily driver for the last couple of months. You can tell time's gone by because my hair went down to here and now it's gone again. It's actually gonna be kind of jarring when you look at the footage. So, what's different? Well, first off, none of the weird, you know, Chinese software is on here. I don't have WeChat or Weibo or whatever other Wii themed software on the phone anymore. I don't have the telemetry going to Xiaomi. I don't have to have an account with them. None of that, it's gone. All you had to do is wait 7 days of having the phone activated with an account, and then you can just wipe it and start over with something new. Now, the phone is a lot snappier, and I can lock the screen at 120 Hertz at all times. The stock software would vary, and that's for battery life. But the real kick here is that my battery life is better with this phone at full brightness with forced 120 Hertz than the other software was. So it's much faster. My battery life is phenomenal. I'm talking like 10 hours of screen on time. I use this thing all day at work when I shouldn't be. Listening to music, watching videos, GPS, all of that, and I still get home and have like 30% battery left. It's mind-blowing.
How big is the battery in that phone again?
I think it's like a 4,000 milliamp hour battery.
I'm sure you said it.
Oh, it's 4520 milliamp hour.
That extra 20 really makes a difference.
Oh yeah. Yeah, 4520 milliamp hour battery. I get legitimate all-day battery. I can go probably 2 days of battery if I'm not watching YouTube at full brightness on my lunch break. Full brightness is because I don't see so good anymore. Now there are some caveats. There's some idiosyncrasies. There's some There's catches to it. First off, the Bluetooth on this is kind of like temperamental. My car has a Bluetooth adapter, and the phone is convinced that that is the dominant Bluetooth. It doesn't care what I do. I have Bluetooth headphones in, and I'm talking on the phone. I open my trunk of the car, the Bluetooth kicks on, and the phone kicks me off and starts talking in the car. I walk away, it doesn't kick back on, it just goes back to the regular speaker. Why? It's very, I'll turn the phone back to speaker, and it goes, nuh-uh. It switches back to Bluetooth. So Bluetooth is sketchy at best. I've had a couple of issues where it doesn't work properly. You have to power cycle the Bluetooth radio. Sometimes when people call you, you have to turn speaker on and off or you can't hear them. And just a bunch of other tiny little nitpicks here and there. It's not perfect, but again, you're using software that a bunch of people made as a hobby in their spare time. There's gonna be some trade-offs. It's all stuff I am more than willing to accept, and I've actually had to sit down here and think like, no, there were problems. What are they? Because I've just kind of gotten used to working around them. It's second nature at this point. Pick up the phone, double tap the speaker button and start talking. Like you don't even think about it anymore. So I like the phone. I think I paid a phenomenal price for this device, and I have zero reason to upgrade to anything in the next couple of years, unless, what, 240 hertz screens start becoming a thing, then okay, maybe. They're not much smoother, but dang it. I like the bigger numbers. You thought I wouldn't notice 144 to 165, and you're right, I didn't notice. I had the thing set to 100, and I was like, wait. I noticed that. Battery life is great. Much better. Phone is smoother, it's faster. The camera's a little worse. I don't use a camera though. I hate that this is a 4K recording because now you see me and you don't want to. I know I say that every time we talk about cameras, but it's true every time. I take a selfie and I go, why? So
that's with the terrible front camera.
That's with the bad front camera. Well, anyways, that's the review of my phone. And I know I'm gonna have a habit of just making videos about stuff I'm excited about and I bought because one, LG won't send me anything and they don't make phones anymore.
Thank God.
Their phones were the worst, except for the one I dunked in liquid nitrogen. That thing is just like, and? The screen delaminated and it's like, so? Check out that video and just watch our heads explode. Just why? So yeah, let me know in the comments if there's any phones or devices that you wanted me to kind of cover, talk about. You know, I might be in the market for a smartwatch soon, so if you have any suggestions on that isn't the Gear Active 2 Extreme, what, Galaxy Gear Plus LTE, 44 millimeter. If you have any advice for any smartwatches or anything like that in the comments, let me know. Hop on the Discord, like the video, because I can't see your dislikes anymore. And, you know, have a good one. I actually do kind of want to get a smartwatch. Why?